So I had a student the other day asking me how to get sort of out of some pentatonic boxes, pentatonic shapes that he'd been using, and into some more shreddy stuff. And he showed me this lick from Guthrie Govan that he had transcribed, and it had a very pentatonic sound, but I heard a lot of chromaticism, and it was still shredding. There was a lot more notes than just a pentatonic scale. So I want to share with you a couple of things that I think about when I'm doing this approach to pentatonics to try to get more mileage out of it. I'm basically applying the idea of the bebop scale to a pentatonic scale. And what I mean by that is, in a bebop scale, we add a chromatic passing tone so that when we hit that strong note again, we're on a downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we're taking these pentatonic shapes and just trying to get more mileage out of them so that we can land on strong beats and have more notes to play, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to take this E minor shape. I'm going to start on A. And I look at that as just a series of whole steps. Now I understand that there are not just whole steps, but between A and B, that's a whole step. Between D and E, that's a whole step. Between G and A, that's a whole step. And again, A and B. Now, anytime I have whole steps, whether it's a major scale, minor scale, etc., my rule is I can put a chromatic passing note between the two notes in any whole step interval and get more mileage out of the scale I'm playing without taking away from the tonality of the scale I'm trying to play. So if we play all these chromatic notes in between the notes of that pentatonic scale, it still sounds pretty bluesy, basically like a pentatonic scale. Now we can practice these patterns all over the neck. We have this pattern. And just practice doing that until it's under your fingers really easily. I'm never losing that pentatonic sound, but I'm getting so much more mileage because I've added those chromatics. If you want to shred, you've got to have a lot of notes and you've got to have somewhere to go. So this kind of solves those problems. And you see, you can practice those shapes all over the neck and just get them under your fingers really well. Now, another thing you'll see guys do is slur these kind of licks. And this adds something else to the equation that's really interesting. When you play a pattern similar to the ones I just played, let's just start on D here on the 7th fret and play this E minor pentatonic box. And then add the chromatic notes. You'll notice when I went from this G to this A, changing positions, I made sure that this finger was sliding up the frets with purpose, and I purposely played the in-between notes as I was changing position. Like that. That's the basic idea. Now, if you can play that note deliberately, you've got some extra chromatic notes as you're changing position. And that's how some of these guys that you see are able to never sound like they're coming out of the scale and yet they're changing positions. They're actually using the pentatonic shape to their advantage and deliberately letting the sound of their finger sliding up into position be a part of the line that they're playing. And it's easier said than done. It's something to work on. So what I was doing there was just making those position changes sound deliberate. That sort of thing. The important thing to remember with this particular line is that right there. Make that position change sound deliberate. Practicing that sort of thing all over the neck will help you get into like the next gear of shredding and be able to maintain the bluesy or pentatonic sound that you're going for. And this works with the major scales, the minor scales, works with everything. When you got a whole step interval, just put that in-between note in there and use it to get more mileage. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Let me know in the comments if you don't understand still, or if you'd like me to talk more about this. And if this kind of nailed it for you, let me know that as well. Appreciate you watching. See y'all in the next video.